The Canon 600 and 800mm lenses are cheap and light, but why and who are they designed for? Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Simon. Thanks for tuning into The Ordinary Filmmaker. If you're new here, subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss out on any news, rumors, or tutorials. And all the links to everything I talk about in this video, including gear discussed and the Canon R5 contest giveaway details, are placed in the description down below along with my affiliate links. Need camera gear and want to support this channel? Consider using my affiliate links below to Downtown Camera, B&H, and Amazon. For many, a lens with a focal length of f11 is just a silly, absurd thing. It's not for serious photographers or videographers. But this isn't the Serious Filmmaker or Photographer channel, is it? This is The Ordinary Filmmaker. If you're ordinary like me, stick around and you might be pleasantly surprised. At first glance, it's easy to see why the Canon 600 and 800mm telephoto lenses are so much cheaper than other lenses. And it's the focal length f11. Now, having a single focal length of f11 means fewer pieces of glass, with the remaining ones smaller and lighter, resulting in a lens that is much less expensive to build. When these two lenses were first rumored, many of us, myself included, scratched our heads. How could this lens prove useful at this focal length? Now, perhaps pardon ignorance, and perhaps not having spent a lot of time shooting subjects with such a focal length, I was truly puzzled. But when I went back and looked at the focal lengths I shot with my EF 100-400 many years ago, believe it or not, I found a lot of them were shot at f8 and f11. And that includes the moon shots. Having a fixed focal length of f11 is not all doom and gloom, and it makes this focal length affordable to us. The lack of 3 stops means this lens has fewer pieces of glass inside. The lens itself doesn't have to be as big and heavy as professional glass, but that's not the only reason for being so light. Lens Rentals took the 600mm lens apart and found that Canon used an awful lot of plastic in the lens's construction. Now, while I'm sure this will be reason enough for some not to get it, the 600mm weighs in at just a little bit more than the RF 15-35. And I'm talking about maybe 100 grams or so. And I know what you're thinking. This makes this lens, or even the 800mm lens, light enough to be able to take out with you on ordinary walks through local trails. But why? Why did Canon build a smaller, lighter, and much cheaper pair of lenses? Well, by offering more affordable options to us, they encourage their customers to spend more money with them instead of with other companies like Sigma and Tamron. Now, Sigma does offer a 150mm to 600mm for a few $100s more, and with an f5.6 to 6.3, but they don't unfortunately have an RF mount version yet. Now, I could never have afforded the EF 600mm lens at over $13,000, and I wouldn't even think of putting it on my roadmap. That's right up there in the Mac Pro range, and those are just silly amounts of money that I can't afford to spend. However, even the EF 100-400mm lens, while a lot more affordable at around $2,200, is still a lot of money to spend on a lens that I might only use occasionally. But at $699 and just a couple of pounds for the 600mm, or a few $100s more at $899 or 2.75 pounds for the 800mm, I don't really mind so much, and I bet you don't either. They're both highly portable, and working closely with the R6 or the R5's IBIS, their new and improved autofocus system, and a fast processor, make getting the shot so easy, and locking onto not only the eyes of most animals, but insects too. So f11, it's more than enough for, in my belief, the ordinary filmmaker and photographer. And in low light, no problem getting moon or Milky Way shots. Sure, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to have an f5.6, but we all know what would happen. The cost would go up, and that whole thing about having your cake and eating it too. But some good news is I will be having the 800mm within my hands within the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, I'll get a few clear days and nights to put this lens through its paces. But we're moving into September, and September in Ontario, in this part of Canada, can be anything from really great and sunny to rainy for weeks on end. Hopefully, I'll have a few clear days and nights to put this lens through its paces. I love to shoot some birds, and especially some squirrels. No, not with a gun, with the camera. And of course, insects too, and even maybe a few moon shots. The Milky Way, though, might be a little bit too difficult. You see, Toronto is 15 minutes away and puts out an awful lot of light pollution. That's it for now, guys. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win the Canon EOS R5. Thanks for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. We'll see you again soon.